Grow Great is a city government leadership podcast with Lisa Norris and me, Randy Cantrell. Each week we share insights, experiences, and wisdom to help you and your leadership grow great. Our website is growgreat.com.
Quote, everybody knows I love them, right, Randy?
We do. If we know anything, we know that.
Right. Sometimes an obstacle in your path is a gift meant to redirect you in the right direction. It's the whole theory of, I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason, but boy, that is hard for a lot of people to understand. I've talked to my family about it. I can't remember, there was an issue one of my sons was going through, and I said, instead of looking at it as a failure and you're never going to be able to do something, perhaps there is a reason that didn't come to fruition. You're being redirected to something else, something different, something better. Because I'm a believer that there is a very specific reason that didn't happen, and I need to trust it. At the end of the day, it can be disappointing. I'm not saying we don't have natural human emotions around pursuing something and not getting it. But at the same time, it's always worked for me just to have faith that there's a good reason I don't yet know about that I didn't get it. And even when I've counseled people in HR for so many years, Randy, it's one of those things as you counsel them and they're trying to get promotions. They're trying to, move up or do something, and something gets in the way. And I said, I often know the circumstances. In HR, you're kind of connected to the managers, to the directors, to the city leadership team, to the council. So we have, even up here in city manager's office, you have a much bigger perspective because the optics are different, right? You have insight that others do not have. And when I would counsel people, even in HR, I'm like, that would not be good for them because X, Y, and Z is planned. And that's not what they're looking for, but you can't disclose it.
Right.
You can't even lend them to believe that you know something you can't tell, because that is not our role in counseling. Our role is to help them become the best version of themselves, to help them achieve their goals, and to help them through the hard times. At the end of the day, we've got to help them, each person say, okay, now what? You used to tell me the same thing. Okay, now what? Now what do we do? When I had challenges either with staff, when I had challenges with personalities, 30 years worth of a career, you're going to have challenges and you're going to have opportunities. And it's being able to move through them efficiently that at the end of the day, and trying to help people see there is a reason that didn't happen. Do not stay stuck in the past, because the past is the past. The decision was made. Focused on what you're going to do next. How are you going to get the next position? How are you going to ready yourself? What is it? Have you talked to anybody? What is it, you're trying to achieve? If it's, not passing a certification exam, well, okay, can you never take it again? Well, no, I can take it again. Okay. So now how do you prepare for that? Well, it's a lot of money. Well, okay, if it's a lot of money, can you save? Well, I can save. I just, and it's choices.
Yeah. It's always choices.
Choose your next step, and it is up to you. You are in charge of you, as I always say. So I just think it's so easily lost. It's really a simple message. It's just, you didn't get it. Feel disappointed, feel the natural emotions, but it's time to take action. So now what? Now what are you going to do with it?
Yeah, it's that old thing. Storms make great sailors. Mm-hmm. Calm seas don't. So, yeah. If you want to be great, and of course that's how we titled our show, Grow Great. None of us grow great because there's, it's all easy.
Yeah.
And because we get everything we want, we catch everything that we pursue. It's nobody's story.
No,
if it is, I haven't heard it. I haven't met a person yet who that's their story, It's just everything happened just spot on, exactly the way that we dreamed it would. I think about it for my life and my experience is I don't know. It's kind of in a reverse thought process. I just think about all the bullets that I dodged. I think about all the things that that I pursued, and it didn't happen the way I really wanted it to in the moment. And then I look back in hindsight and I think, man alive, if that would have happened, that would not have been good.
Right.
You know, you don't see it in real time, but I just think about I'm thankful for the bullets I've dodged, you know, because it was more of a struggle than I wanted it to be.
Well, it's so interesting because, we all have our life goals. I'm a pretty driven person towards my goals.
No.
I'm a planner. I love it's weird. I love
Yeah.
spontaneity in activities.
Yep.
I do not like spontaneity in life and planning and work.
Yep.
I want to have a plan.
We share that in
I like
common.
that in life too, but
Yep.
I want to work towards goals, but I don't mind spontaneity on fun things.
Right.
Like, okay, let's try it. Let's go whitewater rafting. I've never done it. Just don't let me die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Working with our former city manager, Tom Hart, he's like, Lisa, take the risk. Just don't get me in jail. Just keep me out of jail. So put your toe on the line. And so I always took that of.
But you're like me. We both enjoy the strategizing and the planning and the anticipation.
Love it. Yeah. I love, I'm not afraid to try something we haven't tried as long as you have support.
Right.
As long as you have support that says, I'm going to think through it. Yeah. I'm going to try it. But if it didn't work, that's okay. We're going to try something else. But I'm not one that just goes, let's try this, let's try this, let's try this, and just throw stuff out.
Yeah, right.
Like I have a path forward that it's fairly, I'm trying to make the best decisions we can for something that will do really great for the person, for the city, for the department, whatever. But I'm not afraid to take the risk as long as leadership says, let's do it. And if it doesn't work out, let's figure it out. Let's figure out how to tweak it and make it better. I like that kind of style. But it's interesting when we're talking about life goals, and to your point, we've lived life. So we've seen the example of that quote. I remember when we were looking, excuse me, for land. And you remember this years ago during COVID, the housing boom was in full swing. We ended up planning to sell our house and find this land. Well, the first ones, we looked at several, made bids on one in Oklahoma, beautiful. It was this huge hill. I mean, I call it a mountain. It was a mountain to hunt in, right? But it had a horse corral. It had a shed. It had this beautiful house, older, we'd have to renovate, but beautiful stonework, interior. I don't remember. It seems like it was 100 and something acres. Placed a bid. My hopes were high. Lost the bid. Somebody outbid us. And I was like, well, crap. And Don, it's funny because he kept the land we have now. He kept coming back to that going, but babe, this one is so inexpensive, but it's raw land, but it has a shed, this huge 30 by 50 shed insulated. We'd have to bring in electric, but it's ours. And we develop it exactly. And I kept going, nah, brah, I want a house. I don't want to have to do all that work.
Something a little more turnkey.
Yeah, something a little more turnkey. We looked in Arkansas. Mm-hmm. Well, it was 6 hours away. I'm like, yeah, that's a long way to be away from family. At the time, I think we had one grandchild. Yeah. Because this is back 2020-ish, 2021. Anyway, all that to be said, we kept going for other things. They would fall through. And finally, Don said, can you just go look at this? He always tells me, let's just go look at it. And I'm like, okay, because it's non-committal. And he knows me. Until I'm all in, I'm not all in. Yeah. But we went and looked, right? And I saw the realtor was a guy Don had met, high energy, and he's driving through there. He goes, oh my God, can you look at the hunting land, look at the deer trails. And I'm like, what? And he goes, look at it, it's a stocked pond. And I said, well, ask the lady if we can fish on it. Prove it stocked. She goes, yeah, take your poles out there, do whatever you want. I mean, it wasn't, I threw it in the water down. I got a bass. And I'm like, okay, I'm good. But all that to be said, got it for a fraction of the price. Mm-hmm. Even building the home on there, we were able to get a tractor. So we were able to get more. We got a tractor. We were able to get the home. I designed it myself. I did the plans myself. I mean, other than sending it to the builder, right, have its architect make sure it was, right, everything was lined out properly.
Yeah, had it built the way you wanted.
Exactly. And it's built from scratch. It's exactly what I wanted long term. And it allowed us to afford other things. We were able to get all the blinds for deer hunting. We were able to get like everything.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean we're done. Each year we have a project, as always, like in any household. But it was so nice when you come around to your point. Look at what I dodged. I could have been at that place in Oklahoma, but we would have literally had to scale them out every time we hunted. If they fell down, it's like, how the heck, as
Yeah.
we age,
Yeah.
are
You
we
have
going
to
to
ride
get
billy
down there
goats
and
to get
drag
up and
it?
down it. Yeah.
Seriously, I mean, it was really a high,
Right.
like you had to climb a lot, and so at the end of the day, and I would have had to redo the interior of the house. It was very dark. It was beautiful, but it was very dark. I was told, no, we're gonna have to lighten this up. And he's like, babe, it's already at the top of our budget, you know.
Yeah. Right.
So you see things, they happen for a reason. And then at the end of the day, you're like, I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful I didn't stay dwelling on that forever because I was able to move past it pretty quick. It just wasn't meant to be, and you can't change it. So why would I stick all my emotions in the past? I just don't live it. You know me. I'm
Yeah.
very forward thinking.
Yeah.
Very rarely do I look back. In fact, I have to keep notes on things.
Well,
So
it
if
does
somebody
bring up a
asks,
point. You say you can't change it, which is true of those kinds of circumstances. But what about obstacles that maybe we create?
well, I think you have to learn from your mistakes for
The
sure.
circumstances of the obstacle make a
Yeah.
difference.
It's the whole definition of insanity. You can't keep doing the stuff over and over again expecting different results.
Yeah, well,
Right.
sometimes
So,
the obstacle is us, and it's our own stupidity and foolishness.
yeah. Yeah.
And in that case, it's kind of the same thing. But you and I have conversations offline all the time about challenges, obstacles, constraints. Call them whatever you want to. And you and I both tend to go immediately to, okay, what can I learn from this? Whether it's self-induced or not. And I find that that's pretty common among people that are high performing or aspire to be, to just be that self-aware and that introspective. And I think part of it probably, admittedly, is the control freak in all of us,
Well,
because we want to affect our own outcomes, as we should, as opposed to just, I'm going to sit back and be a victim of this circumstance.
well, not only that, I know from my perspective, I'm always willing to grow. I just want to become a better me every day. And
Yep.
I'm not going to change inherently who I am. My belief system, my values, they have been unwavering since I was a kid. I mean, they just develop and you become either stronger or less focused on that particular item. But I've found for me, staying true to who I am and to your words, will always lean into that. Lean into who you are, do it your way. You don't have to do it the way I'm recommending,
Yep.
but always be conscious of it, right? And I believe we always can grow. I'm always trying to grow others because I see potential in them that they can achieve. But at the end of the day, they have to choose it. If they don't choose to believe what I believe and what I see that they can be, we're not going to get anywhere. You have to be willing to make a change yourself and see yourself through another person's eyes, hopefully somebody you trust. And that's where the most effective relationships bloom. Because if I can influence somebody to be the best version of themselves, it's not about me. Grow Great is about growing others, right? Getting them to their potential, getting them to hit their goals. That's where I find the greatest success. It's much less about me, but I'm self-aware. I always look for, I did that with the HR team. Every year and a half, 2 years, I'd have them, if you aren't comfortable telling me in person, I'm looking for feedback. What is it I can do better? Whether it's leadership, whether it's a response, and most of the time I call it not negative, it's opportunities. We'd like to understand more strategy. That would be my top like senior benefits partners.
Mm-hmm.
We want to understand the strategy you see. We love learning. So it was, okay, I'm not giving enough of that. Like I always tried to do that, but in that moment, that's what they needed for that particular period.
Right.
You'd ask them again 2 years later, it's different. It's
Sure.
something different.
That's right.
But I always want to you can't stay stagnant and stay in a place where you are today. If you truly want to grow, you must continue to recognize where you have gaps, strengthen them, and be aware of what your team's gaps are and what they need from their perspective, and grow them too. And that, at the end of the day, helps us develop ourselves and our people.
Thanks for watching and listening to Grow Great, the City Government Leadership Podcast. Our website is growgreat.com. For Lisa Norris, I'm Randy Cantrell. We hope you'll subscribe to the show, and we hope you'll tell a friend.